CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Brendan Purdy.
Without it, we're stuck and it's really inconvenience to everyone.
Tonight on CTV News, potential postage problems. Local businesses brace for the impact of another postal workers' strike. Good evening and thanks for joining us. Thousands of postal workers across our country are on the picket lines in response to changes made by the federal government. It's the second time in less than a year Canada Post employees have walked off the job. CTV's Evan Kenny has the latest.
It's been a quiet day at the Canada Post mail processing plant in Edmonton. Members of the Canadian Union of Postal Workers are blocking off the parking lot, making sure no one gets in or out. Members from other unions are standing in solidarity, but others are frustrated.
Without it, we're stuck and it's really inconvenience to everyone.
People we spoke with today say they want workers to get a fair deal, but they need Canada Post back in service.
It's just painful the first time around, and it's just going to be painful the second time around. So figure it out, get it sorted, but, you know, we want people to be treated fairly, but at the same time, not at the expense of the rest of the country.
During last fall's strike, businesses took a hit. Clothing company Emmy DeVoe lost $200,000 in income and nearly had to close its doors.
We actually announced our closure and have since shrunk the business and relaunched. But that was the catalyst that forced us to have to close.
The owner fears this could once again be a reality.
We're kind of trying to figure out what we're going to do, but really we're at the mercy of waiting for what they are going to tell us.
Last year's strike cost small businesses across Canada more than $1 billion. Evan Kenny, CTV News, Edmonton.
Canada Post says it won't accept or deliver any mail or packages, including one sent before the strike. However, it will continue to deliver government benefit checks. The Alberta Court of Appeal has dismissed the appeal by a Calgary man who stabbed 5 people to death more than a decade ago. Matthew DeGrude was found not criminally responsible after he stabbed and killed 5 people at a house party in Calgary in 2014. He was appealing a ruling by the Alberta Review Board in 2024, saying he would pose a significant threat to the safety of the public. The appeals court agreed and cited DeGrude's dependence on olanzapine, a drug used to treat schizophrenia. DeGrude's annual review will come up again in November. Protesters gathered in front of the Education Minister's office today as Alberta teachers get ready to vote on a new proposed contract. Teachers say they want less crowding and more funding. The province argues that's exactly what they're offering. Tim Brooke has the details.
Outside of the Education Minister's office, a call to action from educators and parents.
The math isn't that difficult. When you don't fund schools and you don't fund education, you're not going to have the kind of quality that, you know, all students deserve.
They want more teachers hired, more schools built, and more funding transparency. It's all right there in a letter delivered straight to Demetrius Nicolaides' office.
So we've written to the minister over and over and over again, and crickets.
And it wasn't just a protest and letter. The group is also organizing beyond Friday.
I'm going to help the teachers by supporting a recall campaign as they strike. Help them understand this isn't just about wages. This is about looking after kids and making sure that long-term we actually have a system that functions.
This teacher is set on passing letters from her colleagues to the province. Somehow,
we have 150 letters of teachers from our local, and they're just sharing their experiences and the realities of what classrooms look like today in Alberta.
The possibility of a strike still looms large despite a tentative agreement between the union and province. The Alberta Teachers Association is not endorsing the deal, only saying it is now in teachers' hands. The man who led that union during the last strike has a guess on where it's going.
The last time teachers went on strike, it was nothing compared to the anger that I'm seeing out there now in 2025. I mean, no exaggeration. This is quantum levels above.
For its part, the Education Ministry pointed to new investment in school construction and renovation as part of its dedication to the system. A statement says the province is doing its best to keep up with historic student growth. Some believe it's still not nearly enough.
And my worry is that if this isn't addressed, we're going to lose a lot of good people from this profession.
Tim Brooke, CTV News, Calgary.
The Edmonton Elks are remembering owner Larry Thompson as the man who helped to save the franchise. The 65-year-old died yesterday from complications following a surgery last month. Despite owning the team for a little over a year, Thompson's vision for reviving and restoring the franchise to its former glory are already beginning to take form. Thompson, the first private owner in the history of the Double E, was a lifelong supporter of the club. A self-made businessman, he headed up the Spruce Grove-based Thompson Construction for 4 decades before selling in 2023. Describing him, members of the organization used words like tough, incredible, enthusiastic, and committed.
He was very stringent on what he thought an organization, a healthy organization should look like, and the way people treated each other and the way we conduct business.
The best way that we can honor Larry is by representing the green and gold and the Double E the right way in everything that we do, and that's what we plan on doing.
In a statement, his wife Deb says Larry was a legend and our family will continue his legacy far beyond our lifetimes. Deb now takes over as the sole owner of the team, becoming the first female owner in the history of the CFL. An emotional gathering of friends and colleagues mourned the death of Dr. Darren Markland this morning. They're carrying on the Friday morning coffee outside tradition the well-known doctor, cyclist, and science communicator started a decade ago. CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports.
A collage of bicycles, coffee, and community takes over at Zio Ferrone Park in the morning light. Hugs all around as people gather to remember Darren Markland.
He'd probably reiterate that people should bike more.
The avid cyclist and intensive care doctor started this Friday morning tradition 10 years ago. He died Sunday after a mountain bike crash near Nordegg.
It happens every single Friday, even in the wintertime. He was usually here with his e-bike, making coffee for people, and just an incredible human being. So we're all here gathered to celebrate him and support each other as a community.
Markland's friends and acquaintances say he had a love for the outdoors and a passion for medicine and science.
Another passion was just connecting with people, right? I mean, he did it every day at work. And in a very harsh environment in the intensive care unit.
Markland's public profile ballooned during the pandemic.
As a physician, I take pride in my ability to deliver really good care, but our system is completely overwhelmed.
And I think that was a really important role that touched a lot of people, and it really helped a lot of people, that he was vulnerable about the experiences.
He also wrote about those experiences on social media. On the 3rd anniversary of the WHO's pandemic declaration, he wrote, "I have compressed decades of emotions into this short span, only to emerge more attuned to suffering and disparity. It ain't good, but I've learned to be a better human."
We were supposed to grow old together, and I'm really mad that we're not, but, you know, he lived on his terms.
Markland leaves behind a wife and 2 sons, an extended family, and countless friends. One of his final posts captured the beauty of biking in Edmonton in the fall and the eloquent language he was known for, even more poignant after his death. Though the encroaching darkness fills me with regret, I am comforted by autumn's light and enthralled by my path home. Darren Markland was 54. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Edmonton police are cracking down on street racing, ticketing dozens of drivers at a recent meetup. Video supplied by police shows cars lining up to race each other. Police say on Sunday night, about 100 vehicles gathered at 129th Avenue and 170th Street. 30 tickets were issued. They included stunting and equipment violations. APS says this kind of behavior is unacceptable, with speed involved in nearly half of all traffic deaths in 2025. So far this year, there have been 25 deadly crashes compared to 26 in all of 2024. Edmonton's new police chief is finishing his first week at the helm of the organization. Chief Warren Dreichel was in our CTV studio this morning. He says the public will see a lot of him in the community, and he wants EPS members to be more visible by policing proactively instead of reactively.
That's a big shift, believe it or not. It's not just as easy as telling our members they need to do it. It's looking at the things that are slowing them down. What are the administrative things, the technical things that are getting in the way? What's new in terms of how they do investigations that keep them from being out on the street?
Thank you very much. Streichel served for several months as co-interim chief following the departure of previous chief Dale McPhee. The Kiwanis Club of Edmonton is recognizing the city's top cop.
We're proud to have officers like Constable Thomas Cleal, who lead with heart, both in uniform and in the community. On behalf of the Edmonton Police Service, it is my pleasure to congratulate him as the 2024 Kiwanis Top Cop.
Thomas Cleal is a constable with the Edmonton Police and a member of its law enforcement torch run. It's an organization that raises money for the Special Olympics. Cleal has been volunteering since 2016. He says receiving the Top Cop Award is a really big honor.
I was kind of surprised when I was informed that I was getting this recognition, and not necessarily somebody that enjoys the spotlight, but if it's going to bring awareness and to Special Olympics and bring more attention to our Special Olympics athletes, then I'm happy to be a part of doing that.
Cleal's parents traveled to Edmonton all the way from Nova Scotia for their son's award ceremony. The Canadian women's rugby team is going for gold in tomorrow's World Cup final. Several players from Edmonton and Alberta are on that roster. CTV's Nara Manisa reports.
This is what we've been building for 3 years to do, and the fact that we're in this week and this is the game that we're in is just unbelievable.
The Canadian women's team is taking on England in the Rugby World Cup final. They can make history as Canada has never won gold.
It was a bit of an unreal feeling, I think, because we were watching it as a team on a trip and everybody was just cheering. I think one of our coaches was crying.
Canada's road to the gold medal final is inspiring the University of Alberta's Pandas rugby squad.
Gives a vision of what we can do as a team and as a country, and gives a hope for if you ever do play for Canada that we're a winning program.
The two teams have some history playing in the 2014 final. Canada settled for silver.
England's going to be a hard team for them to face, but I think as long as they kind of stick to who they are and what's important to them, then I think it'll be a great game.
Assistant coach Chelsea Ross played for the women's national team from 2015 to 2017. She says Canada is becoming a rugby powerhouse.
I think that we're changing the way people see Canadian rugby on the global scale.
The St. Albert Rugby Club is expecting a packed house to watch the game.
At every Canada game, we've had a watch party, and we've had bigger crowds out to every watch party this year than we did to the last Women's World Cup final.
The match is at 9 a.m.
There's a big breakfast and a little breakfast, so depending on how much bacon and sausage you want on your plate, we'll have that on there, and the bar will be open for drinks as well.
A gold medal would be good for business and the next generation of players.
The more that the young girls in Canada and in our province, in our country, in our city can see them doing it and being successful, then they just are going to want to follow in their footsteps.
Showing there's more than just a medal on the line. Nara Misa, CTV News Edmonton.
Just ahead, overcoming adversity. We bring you the story of an Alberta man's journey immortalized in a new documentary. Plus, embracing the hero inside. We catch up with the girl that captured the hearts of Edmontonians, Spider Mabel.
I got to see myself how other people saw me, and I wasn't a sick kid. I wasn't, helpless. I was a ray of hope.
Good evening, folks. 18 degrees for a daytime high today. We'll be in the same ballpark tomorrow. May feel nicer than today, though. After a gusty day today, wind should be down through the day tomorrow. We'll talk more about that. Chances for some rain tomorrow night in just a few minutes.
Programming brought to you by the music of Star Wars with your Edmonton Symphony Orchestra. Learn more at winspherecenter.com.
Welcome back. An Alberta mountain biker is featured in a new documentary making its Alberta premiere at the Edmonton International Film Festival on Sunday. Matt Hadley suffered a life-changing injury back in 2019. Since then, he's turned his tragedy into a trailblazing change. Terry Fikowski explains.
If you've hiked on a trail in the Canmore area, it's likely one Matt Hadley had a hand designing. He also loves to ride them. He and his wife each ranked among the top mountain bikers in the country. But in 2019, a devastating accident changed everything. While hiking with his wife in Utah, a basketball-sized boulder dislodged off a 200-meter high cliff, striking his right leg.
Within seconds, my life changed.
First faced with death, then uncertainty about what his future looked like as an amputee.
There were some dark, challenging moments there of just figuring out what I was capable of and how to do it. And I figure out ways to get back to sport and just regular life.
His remarkable recovery, resilience, and ability to reimagine trails is featured in the new documentary, Trailblazing, the Matt Hadley story. The now 42-year-old is an elite adaptive athlete and uses his own experiences to improve inclusivity on paths in the region as a trail technician.
There's been a number of projects I've been able to bring that accessibility lens. That's extremely empowering.
Hadley has also improved safety and lowered risk during the redesign of well-known trails like Haling and Yamneska. His lasting impact in the community is what compelled emerging Canmore filmmaker Kim Logan to share his story.
Films like Trailblazing help change the narrative from pity and amazement to respect and representation. And I hope that Trailblazing helps spark conversations about who belongs in the outdoors.
It's already well received, with one international award since its world debut in May and now set to premiere in Alberta. And while it has been difficult for Hadley to relive his worst moments, he's hopeful it will encourage others facing theirs.
In its own way, it probably helped with the healing. People can overcome most anything in their life.
Terry Fikowski, CTV News in Canmore.
This weekend marks 10 years since a girl with cancer known as Spider Mabel cast her web on the hearts of Edmontonians. People are getting a chance to relive that day with a special screening of the documentary Spider Mabel, a real-life superhero story. CTV's Amanda Anderson has more.
Who are you?
Mabel. Spider Mabel is a well-known name in Edmonton. She's the girl who, while battling cancer, was granted a wish to go on a crime-fighting adventure, saving the city and then Oilers captain Andrew Ference.
It was just so amazing and so comforting to know that there were so many people rooting for me and putting this together to make me feel better, and it was the best day of my life.
It's been 10 years since that day. The pint-sized superhero is now grown up.
I still hold a lot of the qualities I had back then, and I value that because it shows that, yeah, I've changed, I've matured, but I'm still me.
Spider Mabel's Wish Day, her journey to overcome cancer, and efforts to give back to the community are featured in a documentary called Spider Mabel, a real-life superhero story, released a couple of years ago.
I got to see myself how other people saw me, and I wasn't a sick kid. I wasn't, helpless. I was a ray of hope.
Remembering everything that happened, everything that she did that day and the years after, everything that went into that film, it's I want to see it again from the perspective of that being in the past.
People are getting a chance to relive that special day in our city's history on the big screen at Metro Cinema.
Edmonton showing up that day was what I was really proud of.
It's also a chance to meet the girl behind the mask.
Look out! Here comes the Spider Mabel! I'm not so much the superhero anymore. I'm more Mabel who wants to give back, but as me instead of Spider Mabel. Because Spider Mabel's really connected to the cancer side of my life.
The Spider Mabel documentary is being shown on Saturday to mark the anniversary and raise money for the Kids with Cancer Society. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
After the break, don't go chasing waterfalls. We bring you the story of a former water flow in the Alberta capital.
I hope it's not sort of done forever, but I fear that it probably is at this point.
Monday in Your Morning Edmonton, 10 years since the Truth and Reconciliation Report was released, we examined Canada's progress and the hard conversations that remain. We'll see you at 6.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Welcome back. Pretty close to average today, just slightly above 17 and 6, which are the average high and low. For the weekend, the average high slips to 16 degrees, and we'll still be in the 17-18 range for Saturday and Sunday, so just slightly above seasonal averages. You got this rain falling across northern Alberta, but skies clearing in and around the Edmonton area, so we'll start tomorrow with some sunshine, bit of cloud cover increasing through the afternoon. All of these showers should stay west of us in the afternoon hours, but as we head through Saturday night and into early Sunday morning, through the overnight period, there's a chance of some showers or some light rain in Edmonton. A little better chance, I think, for some steadier pockets of rain off to the west and southwest of the city. That'll actually continue through into Sunday morning. We're under mostly cloudy skies through the day here in Edmonton. There will be some sunny breaks on Sunday, but way more cloud than sunshine. Again, the wind should be a non-factor tomorrow and Sunday, at least here in the city. We'll show you where it will still be gusty in a moment. 7 degrees in Fort McMurray tomorrow morning. 6s for Grand Prairie and Edmonton. Down to about 4 in Red Deer. Coronation at 0. Frost advisory in effect for that area. 17s and 18s across the northeast. You know, chance of some rain there in Edson. 12 degrees in Edson, but 16s for Grand Prairie and Peace River. 21 in Red Deer and Coronation with some increasing afternoon cloud. All right, let's take you through to tomorrow morning. East Central, northeastern Alberta, a little gusty, 30-kilometer-per-hour gusts. Gusts again, 40 to 50 kilometers per hour from Slave Lake back through the Peace Country in the morning, and that'll pretty much be the case all day across the northern third of the province. You notice here in Edmonton, though, after gusts to around 40 or 50 kilometers per hour today, should be pretty calm tomorrow. There's your chance of a shower late tomorrow night through the daytime hours tomorrow. Just some increase in cloud in the afternoon. Mostly cloudy, 17 on Sunday. One more day in the 20s on Monday, up to about 22 or 23. And then we'll settle into the 15 to 19 range for highs through the rest of next week. That is your forecast.
Once upon a time in Edmonton, there was a waterfall. It flowed off the high-level bridge for 25 years before councillors decided to turn off the taps. This is its story.
A few turns was all it took for the water to begin flowing. The Great Divide Waterfall came to life on September 1st, 1980 to celebrate Alberta's 75th birthday. Edmonton artist Peter Lewis designed the waterfall. It was built in 3 months and cost approximately $600,000 and had a cascade 7 meters taller than Niagara Falls. The Great Divide Waterfall adorned the Edmonton skyline on long weekends in the summer and sparkled in the dark under the fireworks on Canada Day. It marked the end of the sourdough raft race, splashing paddlers as they passed below. The taps were left on for 25 years until 2005, when Environment Canada raised concerns about the water pouring into the North Saskatchewan River.
The waterfall carries treated water, which has chlorine in it. So we're looking at ways that we might reduce the chlorine and operate the waterfall in a more environmentally friendly manner.
In 2009, the city decommissioned the Great Divide Waterfall while it searched for a solution. And by 2012, councillors began to debate whether it was worth saving at all.
We spend an awful lot of resources and money to treat our river into some of the best tap water in the world, and shooting it off a bridge back into the river is not the best thing to do.
I don't think it makes any sense to continue with the waterfall system, especially because you're basically using fresh water, which is a waste of water.
Others argue the city should go with the flow.
It's part of the city art collection, so we will not walk away from it. We'll do everything we can to conserve it or restore it within reason.
After 2 more years of debate, City Council agreed to stop the waterfall's cash flow.
This might have been iconic in 1980, but I think that we're a different city now.
As the waterfall dried up, something new came to light.
We have got the $2.5 million now that we need to light our bridge.
A donor-funded Light the Bridge campaign offered the city a more modern and cost-efficient way to highlight an iconic landmark. 60,000 LED lights were installed.
We're very proud to be part of this project. It's the biggest landmark in Edmonton.
And on July 1st, 2014, they lit up the Edmonton skyline. The original pipes from the Great Divide Waterfall still sit atop the high-level bridge.
I hope it's not sort of done forever, but I fear that it probably is at this point.
The city says the 112-year-old bridge needs some major upgrades. And while it's not clear what will become of the taps, the city says reviving the Great Divide waterfall is not anticipated.
Alrighty, folks, that is all from us tonight. Thanks for wrapping up your Friday and your week with us here on CTV Edmonton. Have yourself a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday night. Until then, take care and goodbye for now.